That morning on September 15th, schools throughout Fort Worth had See at the Pole rallies where the students came and prayed. We had invited youth throughout the city to come and celebrate and testify of what had taken place at their school. 400 youth were there in our sanctuary from all over Fort Worth. Our church was right in the middle of a neighborhood, hard to get to. No one knows how this man found the church, but this man with a cigarette in his mouth and 200 bullets in his possession walked in the door. One of my neighbors, a seminary student, asked him to put the cigarette out, and the man immediately began shooting. Shot him, shot a dear friend of my wife's. Wife was supposed to be in the vestibule, but she was late. She too would have been there and would have been shot had she not been late. He went down the hallway, started shooting people in the hallway, walked in the sanctuary, and just started shooting. And the youth thought it was a skit. They thought it was tied in with the skit the youth minister had announced. And as he was shooting, any kid that popped up underneath, up from the pew, he shot at. He ran out of bullets at one point, and as he was reloading, this one youth stood up to him and said, "What you need is Jesus." And the gunman cussed him out. And the youth said, "If you shoot me, I know where I'm going. Do you know where you're going?" And the gunman cussed him again, and then turned the gun on himself and took his own life. Well, my friend Sean, one of my best buddies, he had a passion for the Lord, just an energy and enthusiasm that was just unbridled, something I had never seen. Sean just had a total dependence upon the Lord and a real sensitivity of spirit, that he understood prayer and understood that God really cared about him and could take care of his needs. And Sean really lived that, the dependence and the intimacy of prayer, and knew that God could take care of everything for him. A couple days before the shooting, Sean came up to me and he says, "John," just with a real sense of concern, and he said, "John, God's laid on my heart, something is about to come up in your life, and I've been praying for you really fervently, just really passionately been praying for you. And I don't know why, I don't know what's about to come, but I sure have been praying for you." And I found out later he had said the same thing to his wife. Hurricane Floyd was hitting Florida, where my family's from, and so I called my parents, and I was checking on my grandmother, and I was checking on others, and I lost track of time, and I missed my ride with Sean to the rally where he was killed. It was just utter disbelief, and our building, our sanctuary, was destroyed, bullet holes everywhere, carpets torn up, but we all wanted to be back there in the sanctuary. That week, I came back to the church. Carpet was pulled up. The walls had some plaster, but a lot of bullet holes. I just felt the need to connect with God there in that place. I knew that they were going to put carpet down, so I went to the spot where I told he was killed, and just started writing the concrete, writing out a prayer to God, thanking him for my friend, and thanking him for what a true man of God he was. And Kathy, she did the same. She wrote a love prayer, thanking God for her husband, and then writing out her feelings and prayers to God. Later that week, our youth minister, he decided to do the same, and he found every penny he could find in the building. And the youth group meeting that night was give all the kids markers and say, "Here's the concrete, write whatever you would like." As I've looked over those prayers, it's some of the most intimate prayers to God that I've ever seen. Kids would write, "Here I am under this pew. God, thank you for sparing my life. Thank you for allowing me to live another day. I give my life to you." They knew God could meet them there in that place of such wickedness and pain and hurt. Allowing the kids to do that, it was very inspiring and very moving to see them commune with God in that special place as well. This idea of writing on the floor was spontaneous to me, but what I love about Prayer Igniters and the Prayer Ideas website is that it gives people ideas and ways that they can take their needs, their hurts, their pains, and make a spiritual marker for it, and use the ideas of what comforted me in my tragedy, that I hope they could take that and maybe put a marker somewhere in their life, prayers to God in special places where they've been.